Okay, this is really frustrating. I'm just looking at the page here for Abe Lincoln, and then you scroll down to personal, early life and career, wiki, family, and then sexuality. Like, and then like the first paragraph. Uh, I'll just speak it now. The sexuality of Abe Lincoln and the possibility of his homosexuality has occasioned historical speculation. Although attribution of homosexuality would have been damaging, no accusations by his many political opponents during his lifetime are known to have been made. A comical poem he wrote about two men marrying was expurgated from later editions of the first Lincoln biography. Activist proponents of the view that the Lincoln was homosexual have regarded a sleeping arrangement with Joshua Fry Speed when both were bachelors as evidence. Mainstream historians point to Lincoln having openly alluded to it as showing that men sharing a bed was common and carried no implications in Lincoln's era. Lincoln had 4 children with Mary Todd in an enduring marriage. So that's a very confusing statement in that, the Wikipedia here, you think about how that's worded. Activist proponents of the view that Lincoln was homosexual have regarded a sleeping arrangement with Joshua Fry Speed when both were bachelors as evidence. Mainstream historians point to Lincoln having openly alluded to it as showing that men sharing a bed was common and carried no implications in Lincoln's era. So that's doublespeak right there. That's like basically saying that, yeah, he was, without saying it. Which goes to show that you really shouldn't trust Wikipedia, and that there's a huge amount of gay washing by people within that community who are psychopathic, and they want to rewrite history to include and make it okay. But historically, as it does state, it's a mixing up of the facts. It was very common, for people, for families and close friends to share a bed because of warmth, survival. It doesn't mean anything further than that. You think about like the year of the dog, or whatever that movie is. I couldn't continue to watch it. It was just eh, yeah, you know. It's just there's a lot of room for interpretation there, and as like with the study of history goes, you shouldn't be filling in the blanks when there's nothing to conclude. That's a real sin in documenting history. Is as I've said in one of the first videos of the history of propaganda, that to impose modern day values and views upon the past is frankly evil. And this is the root of all evil, is that it's banality. And when we accept it for fact. We just accept it and we don't critique it. And then, it harms us all. And I was thinking about, okay, so I'm thinking about, here we go. Suggestions of homosexuality or bisexuality. Commentary on President Abraham Lincoln's sexuality has been documented since the early 20th century. Attention to the sexuality of public figures has been heightened since the gay rights movement in the late 20th century. In his 1926 biography of Lincoln, Carl Sandburg alluded to the early relationship of Lincoln and his friend Joshua Fry Speed as having a streak of lavender and spots soft as May violets. A streak of lavender was period typical slang for a effeminate man, and later connotated homosexuality. So like, men can be feminine and creative, and women can be masculine and authoritative. So like this purposeful confusion of sexuality is just, it's very frustrating, and it's very harmful. It's suicidal. and it's propaganda. And this is why I do these videos, is because I can't tolerate this anymore. I really can't. And there's a lot of people out there that can't tolerate it either. Just when there's too much of it, the society collapses because it's interlinked with excess and sadomasochism and all the things of humanity that we don't want to, boil up to the surface. Because when those things, become commonplace, then we get to, apocalyptica. Because that's what happens. That's what there are people at the top that, have their hands on, or their fingers on the strings, so to speak. If you're gonna want to get conspiratorial, they practice eugenics and social engineering in order to maintain control and domination, as it's been said throughout all history by other people, that are in the public. And if I'm going to make any mentions to, say, popular culture, I would say like Alex Jones or PJ Watson, Black Pills, stuff like that. It's the truth that we don't want to hear. And the truth is that these people are evil. They're pure evil. And we have to stop them. And the only way to stop it is through communication, networking, and education, and by not corrupting the history. Because when we corrupt history, it becomes propaganda.